Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our mega event, Timeless Creator Clash number 2. My name, well, I'm Will Hall, better known on the internet as Will Hall EXP. That man of the future news best, well, that's Anag Das, and we are so happy that you're here to watch this awesome event unfold. The first one was mind blowing. People loved it. Everybody thought this format is amazing. Since then, we've had a couple of sets released. But if you didn't catch the first season, well, what is Timeless, my friend? What is
Yeah.
this Creator Clash?
So the Creator Clash is basically, I mean, look, the reality is we love Timeless as a format. We want to see more of these events, and say, hey, we'll do it ourselves. We've got 16 fantastic creators here, all streaming live right now on Twitch. You can watch their POVs, watch their channels, and they're all battling it out against each other to see who is going to come out on top. Last time we had some amazing names, and this time we've got the heat coming at you. We'll go over the players soon, but yeah, they're playing 5 rounds of Swiss, a cut to top 4, and they're aiming for that trophy here in our new Timeless metagame.
Cannot wait. Well, you said it. Let's see what players they are. We've got 6 amazing plays for you. We've got 2 graphics. Let's get the first one on the slide. Let's have got what a absolutely stacked lineup. Run me through these, Anu.
Yeah, so first we have Arnie Huschenbeth, who secured the second placed slot in the first Creator Clash, has been championing Blue Black Demir, Luris Control. We'll see what Arnie has brought today. Everybody's favorite Aspiring Spike. I've seen Aspiring Spike's deck list. I think it's available on the Melee page, and you can check it out too. But if you've been following his modern work, you've seen what he's playing before. We have Loading Ready Runs, Benjamin Wheeler. Now, this is incredible, Bill. I don't know how you got Ben to come and join us today, but I am so stoked for this. And then to round out our last 5, we've got Doomwake, Elliot Dragon, Philippa MTG, E Philly, and recent Pro Tour champion, Seth Manfield.
Straight off a hot win there, Seth Manfield. But that's our first 8, who are second out of 8. Let's get them up on the screen, and I should find you who we've got. Well, starting off, we got the one James. Absolutely awesome content creator. Loves to play the game. Well, make sure I follow him on all the different socials. Always positive and great feedback. And we've got like a newcomer here. We've got Jack. Jack is a Italian like megastar. But me and you, we don't speak Italian, so but he can speak multiple different languages. Got a huge back base him. Loves playing everything arena. And let's just be honest, probably the best graphic look. Like how good looking can you be? Like, give us me. I'm my best. Mustache can only do so much. Next to that, we've got Reed Duke, the nicest man in Magic. Absolute powerhouse, Hall of Famers, won it all, but hasn't won Creator Clash yet. Looking to come back now and down. Then we've got Solis over there, the German, not German juggernaut, that's reserved for someone else, but one of the big German content creators, does lots of casting, does lots of playing, does lots of YouTube. And right next to him, well, talking about another German, MTG Malone, probably the rock star of the German MTG content creation. Love having him here. Met him multiple times face to face. Always a smiley, happy character. Pumps out daily videos on YouTube. Then we've got, I don't even know how to describe Derek, just misplaced ginger. You know what I mean? This man
Not a twink. 100%. That's who.
Genuinely one of my top 5 streamers I watched last year on Twitch. I just love watching his like how he comes across and how he plays Magic. But then one of my other top 5 that I watched last year is none other than Young Dingo, who's got a nice little story. I asked him multiple times to be in Creator Clash 1. He said, nope, I don't play Timeless World. That is not the format for me. We do the Creator Clash. Next, I can see he's streaming Timeless, loving it. So he's happy to be here. Super stoked to have him. And then following up is a returning player, Ham Hooks 42. Probably the happiest person besides Mengu I've ever seen stream the game of Magic. Absolutely loves it. Cannot wait to see what he's brought this week. He loves reanimating. He loves jank. So it's going to be some sort of janky reanimated brew. If not, I'm writing. That is going to be our 60 content creators all battling out to see if they can take home their share of the prizes. So speaking of prizes, what are they playing for here in the Creator Clash? Well, 1,000 US dollars. So starting off on the left there, our top 4, because this is 5 rounds of Swiss, cutting to top 4. They're going to get themselves a nice share of $400, $200, or $100, depending on where they come. But we've got 2 additional prizes. Talk me through these, Anu.
Yeah, so these 2 prizes are, I mean, look, what's really cool about doing a creator tournament is that we get to sort of define what we want to award, right? This is a community project, and what we're looking for is ways to make Timeless accessible, and what we're looking for is your feedback. So The two things that we are awarding this time around are the best budget deck. You'll notice that we've made a slight change to this prize. We've actually increased the bottom line on minimum rare wild cards from 25 to 30. The best budget deck receives $100. And you know what? At the end of the show, what we're going to do is we're going to launch a Twitter poll. And your job is to tell us what your favorite deck of the four that you like the most. I'm going to tell you right now, I have seen Mono Black Vampires and I've seen Displacer Kitten, and I can't tell which one. That's not true. I know which one I like better because I'm a blue-eyed mage, but I want to hear your opinions later on. And these are our two community additional prizes, whatever you want to call them. I'm pretty stoked about these.
Yeah, like same. Like, I love that we're like kind of we're in control of this. We kind of listen to your feedback as well, chat. So if you think, oh, maybe this would be a good idea for a prize or this, that, and the other, let us know. You know what I mean? We're listening to all feedback. We try and change every event to make it a little bit better every single time. If you think there's something else that we're missing, please do let us know. So I think at this point, people have an idea of what Timeless is and kind of what cards are. It's not really a paper format. It's not really a Magic Online or anything format. It is a arena only based format. So talk me through what it is, Anu.
So basically, this is one of the eternal formats on Arena where you get access to every single card. When I say eternal, I mean it's non-rotating. So as new cards get added to Magic Arena, they get added to this format. There are no ifs, ands, or buts. What's really cool about this format specifically is unlike other arena formats, you get to play with the original versions of the cards that are available in paper. So any astute and timed or veteran, I guess, arena mages, they know the difference between like Teferi 3 mana, Teferi 4 mana. They know the difference between like the different copies of Minsc and Booze. In this format, you play with what is printed on your card, and I, as someone who is, transitioning from paper to arena or just getting into it, I love this so much because I get to play with all the cards that I'm familiar with. It's great.
Yeah, like that's I think one thing that drawn a lot of players to this format. Like there used to be this big divide, right? Of okay, like tournament sort of players in Magic and then Arena. And everyone was like, oh, like, we kind of used to look down Arena. Arena used to just think, oh, we're all boomers. This format's kind of brought us all together because we are playing all these old cards that we see Legacy and Modern that they put into Arena, but they're not as broken as they should be. They are in other formats, like we've got Ragavans and Okos floating around. But in this format, everything kind of seems a little bit balanced. Obviously, last time we did the Creator Crash, we made the Timeless format. Now we're either going to break it or we're going to remake it. So I'm really looking forward to see how that works out. But there are some restriction on cards, right? You can't use 4 of every single card. So have a little talk through which cards are currently restricted in Timeless. Talk me through it.
You're new to Timeless, you see these 3 cards and you're just like, wow, they are absolutely absurd. I say absurd because Channel and Demonic Tutor have like just a power level that, most cards don't have. And Tybalt's Trickery is just like literally, it is an absurd card that even after having read like 4 times, I still can't tell you what it does. So these cards, for those reasons, they're restricted. They're 1 copy each. And honestly, I'm actually really happy about this. There are some benefits to playing with a restricted card list. Being able to say like, I am playing a format that has access to Demonic Tutor. It's such a cool thing to say out loud, right? And we're going to be seeing a lot of these cards, or at least a lot of Demonic Tutor, because I mean that card is just like first pick vintage cube level. Like I am in. Stay tuned for those.
Yeah, I'll tell you what the Tybalt's Trickery says. It says the game's over in one way or another. Either they fail their combo and I win the game, or they do their combo and I lose the game. That's my experience of playing against that in every single format. But there is a new card that's been printed in it, and it's had a lot of talk around it. And a few of our players have brought it this today to battle. Let's talk through the card Show and Tell and basically what the players were thinking on it, what our thoughts on it, and what it does. So for anybody that doesn't know what Show and Tell is, walk us through it and talk us why this is so powerful in other formats and why it's going to be really powerful in this.
Yeah, so with the release of Murders at Karlov Manor, Show and Tell is a new card that has been added to the Timeless format. You can even see that it's got exclusive new artwork as well to sort of commemorate its inclusion in addition to Arena. And the text is pretty simple. Legacy players, vintage players, you already know. Show and Tell reads 2 and a blue. It's a sorcery. Each player may put an artifact, enchantment, or land card from their hand onto the battlefield. Now you'll see I have very carefully crafted this graphic to tell you what we're going to be putting into play off of Show and Tell. Atraxa Grand Unifier, a recent card from I think it's March of Machines, maybe one of the Phyrexian sets, yeah, that has been like basically Gristlebrand 2.0. We're seeing it a lot in every single Eternal format, and then also the good old classic Omniscience, which allows you to cast all your spells from your hand for free. Basically, these are really powerful tools, and like the last time that we saw the metagame here, we saw a lot of like Rakdos decks, we saw a lot of Orcish Bowmasters, and I have a feeling that this card is basically going to upturn the format right up on its head, and we're going to see a very different texture today in today's event.
Well, we did ask the players what their thoughts were on show and tell in the format. Obviously, they've been prepping for this event. They know they've been playing it. Me and you've been playing it, but we wanted to have their opinion on it. So we do have answers, and we tell them, is this good for the format or is this bad for the format? And it's pretty split across the board. 7
Literally
players
50
say
50.
yes. Or 8 players, sorry. 8 and 8. 8 said, yeah, this is great. This is good for the format. 8 said, nah, this card's got to go. This has got to be restricted or something. We're not a fan of it. You can see which players out of our 16 voted for what. And remember, they're all streaming, so you can go check out this perspective of both sides of the gameplay, as well as here on our channel. We do have some feature matches that we'll be moving forward, though, but we've got to finish up on the meta. 16 players all bringing, I say different decks. Some of them are the same, but you'll see in a minute. We have our meta game graphic to get on the screen and show you what everybody brought. Clearly, show and tell, pretty popular, pretty powerful. So 5 of our players have brought that this. Keep saying weekend. This Friday evening.
Friday's
And
the
then
weekend.
the one that really got me was 3 copies of Winota. I was like, we saw that in Create Clash 1. Philippa brought it. Not going to say that she got run over. It didn't look great for her. Now, 3 people have brought it. 3 people think this deck's legit now. So some cards have been printed that they're happy. Then we've got Yawgmoth. Well, that's my modern deck of choice, so that's what I want to be, pushing towards. Then a couple of one-ofs, and this is some of the ones we're going to hopefully get to see on camera. Mono black vampires. Obviously, vampires are kind of the archetype, the creature type from the Pro Tour. Obviously, that had some pretty good numbers with Seth taking down. I don't know what Orzhov Kitten control is, but I want to know what it is because it
Oh, I
sounds
can tell you.
awesome. But more importantly, it's in the hands of the best player in the timeless format. And I'll say that one more time, ladies and gentlemen. The best player in the timeless format, proven because it's Elliot Dragon. Hasn't lost a game in any Swiss rounds of any timeless tournament he's taken part in. Man's a powerhouse. Next to that, we've got Jesco Surveil. Then we've got Domain Zoo. There's always a Zoo player, so shout out to all the Zoo players out there. Belcher. Hey, I've heard that this deck's around. I've not actually ever seen it being played in timeless, so I'm going to be interested to see how that one does. And then we've got to have a classic Jun player taking it down. I don't know if that's going to be Jun mid range or some sort of fancy Jun's control deck or a combo deck, but we're going to find out together. But that is our meta game for you all. So I'm going to ask my producer, are we happy to go straight down to the game or do you want us to have a quick break?
Well, I have one more thing that I'd like to talk about
You do
really
that,
quickly.
or do you want to talk?
And that is our open event that is coming up next Sunday. Yeah, very important here. You're watching all of these players battle it out today, but you may be wondering, hey, when can I play in a timeless event? Well, let me give you the perfect opportunity. That's right. We have an open entry 1K coming to you live next Sunday, March 17th. It starts at 8 a.m. PST, bright and early. Oh God. You see the Melee link right there? It is, if you also type exclamation mark 1K in the chat, I believe the Melee link will pop up. You can play as well. Last time we had over 90 players wanting to play timeless. That is a dub and a half. And this time I want to see more of you. What's really cool about this event is that the prizes scale with entry. You can call us the best TOs you've ever seen. Last time I think we had an $1,800 prize pool. So don't be fooled. We say $1,000 is guaranteed, but we have an additional $800 in prizes. So stay tuned for that. And honestly, this is probably where we say thank you to the people that are supporting us, our sponsors. So real quick, we'll give them a shout out. But I am producer. If we have a match ready, I do want to jump into that as fast as possible. All right. So our sponsors, Will.
Go for it. So we've got a couple of sponsors that are literally doing what you're doing. You're supporting us. You're watching this. That in itself is helping us, but also some of our sponsors are helping us put on these amazing events. So let's move to our first sponsor. Oh, I can pick one. Okay, let's go with Heavy Play.
All right, Heavy Play. Check them out. They are the new up and comers into the card game accessory space, and they're changing everything. All right, they're changing everything. On the screen right now, you can see the RFG Deck Box Max. They have an entire equip mag. Yeah, that's right. I said it. Magnet system that you can use to sort of integrate all your products together. I love their playmats so much. ETB playmat. You can shop now at heavyplay.com and you have 10% off with the code on the screen. Who's our next sponsor, Will?
I wonder, is there a card called Green Ranger? If not, I want a Power Ranger Green Ranger type.
You think
card.
about like Tommy, right? With the flute,
Yeah,
Tommy's flute.
I am. Okay, next up we have got none other than Apex Gaming. Absolutely love Apex Gaming. Love all the events that they put on. The next event they got on is actually Apex Con, which is going to be on April 12th to 14th. And on the Saturday, so if you work quick map out, April 13th, they've got a Trios event, Modern, Pioneer, and Standard. That's going to give invites to the end of year invitational, which is a 20K. I was at the last one last year. I literally flew across the pond for it. I'm planning to fly across to be in the next invitational that weekend, because it is the weekend after the MagicCon in Las Vegas. So, all of us Europeans flying across, we can kind of, as we're coming back to Europe, stop off in Ohio for a little bit, play a bit of Magic, and then kind of pop back across soon. So shout out to Apex. Love everything they do. Love their streams. Love their content. Love their shop. Love their people. Absolutely awesome. And that moves on to our very last sponsor. Is of course NRG Series.
Yeah, and Norm and the crew over at the NRG Series, they're doing great things. They are basically like propping up, tournament play in the Midwest on their backs. They put out great coverage. They run great events. They have strong endorsements from all the players there. If you're going to be in Minneapolis on the 20th, on April 20th and April 21st, be sure to play in their $10,000 Modern Showdown, which queues into their entire NRG Series Championship event. And then also, hell yeah, can we get the fist bump for Legacy? I am so stoked. A $5,000 Legacy event where you get to play with all the new cards that are on paper and recently on Magic Online. Triumph of St. Catherine has just been throbbing my heart. I mean, honestly, I love that card so much. All right, are we ready for some matches, some Magic?
Okay, looks like make you a little bit happy, and this has completely got nothing to do with timeless, but I'm playing Legacy in paper tomorrow, first time. I've been hanging around you way too long, my friend. It's happened. I've got a Legacy deck. I'm going to play it. But that's enough of that. We've got Timeless for everybody at home to watch. We've got 16 streamers out there streaming their games, streaming their events. Our first match is going to be none other than Doomwake versus Elliot Dragon. As I said, Elliot, the best Timeless player in the game, just by the stats. Very limited, but by the stats, he has not lost one game of Swiss. Maybe this is going to happen now in the hands of Mr. Doomwake. We're going to move straight down to the matchup and see what we've got going on. So, Timeless, we've got Elliot. He's going to be on the Orzhov Displacer Kitten Control. Yep. Azorius. And on the other side, we have got 4-color Winota. So, okay, that's it. I'm not going to ask you how this works out because I also don't know how this works, and I'm pretty sure you don't know how this works out.
I have a couple ideas here, so let's give some clarifications on these deck lists real quick. So if you've played Eternal Magic before, Legacy or Vintage, you're familiar with Displacer Kitten. This is a 3-card combo that works with Teferi, Time Raveler, and then any basically 0 mana artifact. So you've got access to cards like Box Amber. In other formats, you'll see things like what is it called? Like literal Moxen you could see, or any 0 mana artifact. And the idea is you create an infinite loop. With Displacer Kitten in play, and Teferi in play as well, you play a 0 mana artifact. Displacer Kitten will blink your Teferi. You use Teferi to bounce the 0 mana artifact, replay it, rinse and repeat, and then eventually you draw your entire deck. And that is honestly legitimately really powerful. On the other side, you have Winota, which, if you played Pioneer, this is a card that you are probably I'm probably like, triggering everybody in the chat, getting like PTSD flashbacks to how powerful this card is. What's really interesting is that Devin has decided to play 4-color, which is different from some of the other versions that we've seen that include cards like Natural Order. He's just trying to streamline the process and just play something that has more of a like a higher card quality kind of deal. And let's see how it plays out.
Yeah, so for color, that blue's the extra color that's not really used. It's for ancient treachery, which is obviously the big hitter off Winota. The rest of it is kind of a white green sort of shell, a little bit of red and black splash for Winota. Obviously, we need red for black. We've got Orcish Bowmaster, the most played card in Creator Clash 1. So it's going to be interesting to see what the most played card is going to be tournament. Obviously, all those stats will be going live on the socials after this event, as well as that poll that we spoke about. Now we've got Elliot in the decision. Does he want to use counterspell? He does. Also has the nice counterspell art. I own them in paper. Love to see it. But then draws a Teferi free off the top. Here we go. So we're going to go one-sided magic.
We have 2 of the 3 combo pieces in our hand here. So base and a brainstorm too. So like this could just be over very, very fast.
We like Doom's over here with so many Deathlight Shamans. Remember last time we had the argument and about what's the best 1-drop in Timeless? Well, how about the 4th Deathlight Shaman? We saying was it between Ragavan and Deathlight Shaman? And after the tournament, I think I got converted to Deathlight Shaman. This card is so good. There's a reason why it's not in certain formats where the power levels high. Now, Elliot's got to decide how he wants to go about this. Does he want to try and bet like a 2-2 out? Does he want to bounce one of these with Fairy, get a card deeper? Does he want to set up what that top card is with a brainstorm and shuffle away with the fetch? This is something that's very unique to Legacy. Obviously, your format of choice. You're fully aware of, okay, I'm going to brainstorm, put a few cards back, and then shuffle away my bad cards with my fetch land. I tend to lean more towards modern, so we just willy-nilly crack our fetch lands. We don't really have to think about that too much. Elliot's going to go and get, I'm going to say one of your top 5 cards in the Mystic Sanctuary. And
it is easily my favorite land. And by the way, we have approached critical mass here. By the way, I'm going to just go to the board here and talk to you. Even if you don't have the 0-mana artifact, Displacer Kitten plus the Teferi Time Raveler can still generate value for every single spell you cast. So, for example, there's a Swords to Plowshares there on the deck for Elliot. You cast that, you get to bounce something with the Teferi and flicker the Teferi. It comes back in with additional counters, and you play your Brainstorm, flicker the Teferi, and bounce. You still get to draw cards one at a time. It's not an infinite combo, but you are accruing value, and that's what's critical. That's what's very important here, right? Like when you look at this kind of match, this is the end game that Doomwake has to effectively race, and it can be live as fast as turn 4. Doomwake's not in a great spot on this board.
I literally love Elliot. Like he always brings a different deck every time, attacks from a different angle.
There it is, the Mox Amber.
You're telling me this is an infinite combo now?
This is an infinite combo, and I'm 99% sure Doom is just going to scoop here, but we're going to see Elliot play the Mox Amber after drawing a card off the Teferi. Smart, Elliot, you're better than me. Yeah, and now the Displacer Kitten trigger goes on the stack. That will flicker the Teferi. Teferi comes back, and it can now bounce the Mox Amber after the Mox Amber adds a blue or white because Teferi is in play. And now we rinse and we repeat, and we rinse and we repeat, and we rinse and we repeat, and we keep going on until we draw. Well, actually, I'm looking at this deck list right now, and
this is the bit I'm waiting for you to like. So, okay, so we've got a kind of a loop going, but how do I win?
Okay, hear me out. You ready for this? It is not Thassa's Oracle, but everybody's favorite. Say it with me, chat. Nexus of Fate. That's cool, right? That's so cool. Then you just take infinite turns. You've drawn your whole deck, and you just attack with the Displacer Kitten 20 million times. And this is so much cooler than Thassa's Oracle because, like, Nexus of Fate, just a good standalone card in the late game, right? It's something that you can use to accrue value alongside your Teferis. And if you just, I mean, it's Nexus of Fate. I really don't have to, like, sing its praises, but that is the win condition of choice here, and it makes a lot of sense compared to, like, Thassa's Oracle. Thassa's Oracle also kind of vulnerable, and yeah, look, I love this. We've got the deck list up on the screen for you here. There are a lot of things to talk about here, but you can sort of see how this plays out, right? Displacer Kitten 4 copies, Teferi Time Raveler 4 copies, Mox Amber, and a Mishra's Bauble to sort of give you those extra 0-mana artifacts. Now, there's a lot to unpack here with the rest of the deck list. Lavinia, Azorius Renegade, 4 copies. Pact of Negation, 1 copy. These are like honestly blowing my mind. I hadn't thought about like Lavinia as a main deck 4 of. Elliot's already done it. He's come back here and he's broken the format.
I like all I'm thinking is this is so many clicks just to get 2 points of damage in. This is so many clicks.
Blue white
Then
mages, you know
they'd be
like tag your favorite blue white friend and be like, is this you? Something like that. You know what I mean?
I feel like you could just sneak in some sort of card with Storm here, right? Like the better way to win, but Elliot's said, no. I'm getting all the screen time I possibly can. And Doom's like, nah, I'm scooping this up. I get what you're doing. So now that we get to have like this little look at both players, how they're going to be sideboarding for the matchup. I'm having a little look at, you have a little look at Elliot's deck for me, see what you're bringing in. Have a little look.
Sure. Yeah. I think critically already, I'm seeing a couple cards from Elliot that are very important. I like the Aether Gusts. I like the Supreme Verdict. That's a 2 of. Grafdigger's Cage is also an interesting one. Twitch chat's going to tell me right now how that interacts with Winota, but creatures can't enter in from the deck. So that one also seems pretty critical here. Even like Meddling Mage seems really good too. You just name Winota and then you reduce the deck down to a bunch of like, we believe 1/2 Deathrite Shamans and this list isn't playing like Arboreal Grazer, right? I don't think it is. It's not, right? So okay, fine. Like, and this is one of the benefits to Doomwake's deck is that he's just got better creature quality. So even if his Winota doesn't pop off, he's still able to play a reasonable mid-range game. He's not stuck with like creatures that are quite frankly not 2024 quality. Yeah, so I think this is pretty decent here. And if I had to guess, this is a matchup that Elliot is definitely going to be favored.
I'm looking at Doom Sideboard. I definitely didn't come for this matchup. I think his main game plan is turn everything sideways, win the game before Elliot can go off. We do have an Archon of Sanity. Oh no, of Amelia. So only can cast 1 non-creature spell a turn. That's a way of slowing him down. Also, I believe we've got a Boromir. Boromir has the ability whenever an opponent casts a spell, if no mana was spent to cast it, counter that spell. So that's 2. They are 3 drops, but with a couple of our mana dorks, we could potentially get them out on turn 2, being on the play. Maybe that's going to be a way of slowing down Elliot. But I'm already looking at his deck. I'm like, he's got Counter Magic, Swords to Plowshare, arguably the best removal spell in the format, plus a couple of Supreme Verdicts. Really going to find it hard to kind of fight his way through this. But Elliot's just building these decks, man. Like, and this is half the beauty of Timeless, right? It is still a fresh new format, always having cards pumped into it. It is a brewer's paradise, and we're seeing that with Elliot. Every single time we've seen him play a Timeless tournament, he has turned up with something different and is undefeated. He's now 1 game away, continuing that streak, going undefeated, but he has not been able to take down a tournament yet. Is this going to be the first one? Let's find out as both players look at the opening hands. There's a snap keep there from Doomwake. Over on Elliot's side, looks like he's also keeping. We're off to the races.
Yeah, Doomwake's got a great hand here. Turn 1 Delighted Halfling into maybe Giver of Runes plus an end step Orcish Bowmasters. This is basically your bread and butter. I mean, the thesis is that Orcish Bowmasters is one of the best cards in the format. Now, I got to wonder, with the inclusion of Show and Tell into the format, does that metric, does that heuristic actually change here? But all the elements, I mean, this is a very, very, very strong and aggressive turn 1 and 2 coming in from Doomwake's side. On the other hand, Elliot, honestly, kind of on the back burner here. I mean, Meticulous Archive is not okay. Fine, Meticulous Archive actually I think is an insane magic card when you think about it, like a land that you can fetch that also just like is functionally a selection spell. But the rest of his hand isn't really coming together, right? You only have that second land in Mystic Sanctuary. You've got 2 uncastable Dictative Times, and yes, you have the Teferi Time Raveler. Yes, you have the Displacer Kitten, but you might just get run over. Like imagine if next turn there's a Winota. This is just game over.
Well, we are literally our top deck away from it. We managed to dodge it that one time. Means that we're just going to get a few beats in here, I imagine. Just 4 points of damage. This chip damage still Swords of Plowshare up in case Winota did come down. But now this Giver is going to try and hold that. Can Elliot get to 4 mana to cast Supreme Verdict before his life total hits 0? We're going to... I don't even know if do we fire off the swords here just to try and get some cards in your graveyard? Because we need to try and get these digs down ASAP. I think we're... fully aware we don't have a Winota, or it would have literally been slammed that turn. So does it off? Do we get rid of the Orcish Bowmaster? Do we let we untap with Giver of Runes? Because do that means two removal spells. Do I fire the swords off this turn and then potentially I hit an untap land? I can play a Teferi and bounce something. A lot of options going through Elliot's head here. How he wants to play it and how nice the top of his deck is going to be.
Yeah, and this is especially tense for Elliot because he's just on such limited resources. There's a lot of volatility. I mean, yes, like if he had the third land, it'd be great. He'd know, okay, I can play Teferi next turn. I can, try to draw an extra card, hit my fourth land drop for the Supreme Verdict. But right now he's gambling. Oh, he hits the Polluter Delta.
Hit it.
Okay, better lucky than good. That's my motto. Or is that just like
it's going to be Teferi, right? But you kind of forced into hitting the Orcish Bowmaster here, so nothing grows. But like Elliot's decided against that. Going to try and set up for a Supreme Verdict next turn. He's going to want Doom to kind of commit a little bit more to the battlefield before deploying this, get max value. But he doesn't know that Doom's just drawing all land. The flood is a little bit real here. Another land. Lucky and good, as you said. This is going to go get us, I imagine, a basic, but what do I know? No, we're slamming this down. But we do need the double white. That is going to definitely be a thing we need. Doom's going to go fetch end of turn. No shock in here. Lose his board completely and draws another land off the top. Straight pass back. Elliot knows basically the coast is clear now. Is he going to play Displace the Kitten? Is he going to go for Counterspell plus Teferi? The fetch first. Doesn't is open deck list, but everyone's got access to these. So everyone's going to be fully aware. Swords is going to go back on top. Elliot really knowing, paying a lot of value in swords for a Winota coming down. Doesn't want something like an Orcish Bowmaster into a Winota. Barry's going to halt that no matter what. Here comes a Once Upon a Time. Going to look at the top cards. We do have access to a Winota. We also have an Agent of Treachery. We're going to go that route. I'm not sure if we've got the double blue or if it's even solved, but we do have a Cavern of Souls in. Counter Magic is going to be redundant, but it's not going well for Doom. Let's put it that way. A few too many lands for him. So let's go with the Ancient of Treachery. Okay.
Okay, now that's interesting. I guess that's how you are going to try to interact with the board here. I mean, let's think about it right now. Doom might be worried, like, what if my opponent just literally has, the combo this turn? Okay, well, I'm dead, sure. But what if they don't have the combo? Maybe I can play a card here that it disrupts them. And I mean, like taking your opponent's Teferi Time Raveler to bounce your Agent of Treachery to replay your Agent of Treachery is a pretty sick line. I mean, I'm wishing Doom all the best here, but he has lost a lot of steam here after the resolution of that Supreme Verdict, and it doesn't look like it's getting much better. Oh, this is actually really.
Oh, I mean, it did come in.
He has some in the main. Yeah, I think he's got some in the main.
Stop the combo, but fully aware that there's a Swords of Plowshare on the other side. So, it also knowing this, going to cast the swords, flicker the Teferi. We're going to probably see the Boromir. Oh no, we're not. We could sacrifice. Now, a fresh Teferi. Are we taking it down?
Boromir is kind of an insane card as well, right? It does have that same line of text that matters in this format right now, with being able to stop free spells, specifically off of Omniscience.
Doom's had enough. He can see, like, I've drawn way too many land here. Cards in your hand. Got basically cards in your combo that will. That's just game. Unfortunately, the flood is in every format. It doesn't matter what format you play it in. The flood is going to be able to get you. It's pretty rough no matter what. Do we have a backup feature match producer?
Yeah, let's go ahead and get this backup feature match going on. I believe it is Seth Manfield, our Pro Tour Murders at Karlov Manor champion, battling with. Yeah,
10 days ago, he won a Pro Tour. 10 days ago, he won a Pro Tour, and now he's battling it out in the Creator Clash too. That's so awesome, so sick. First time for him in the Creator Clash as well. I'm going to he didn't put a lot of emphasis in the deck. He went, I don't know if this is good. I've just been playing against a load of bots. I don't want to play it in the rank structure. I've just been playing against a lot of bots. I think it's cool. I think he could do stuff. So we're going to find out along with all you at home how cool or not cool this is as we move down to our backup. Seth Manfield against the one James. So one James say he low rolled this round. He was like,
Oh,
R&D
no.
not on my side already. Brilliant. I've got the current Pro Tour champion. Sweet.
Can you imagine just waking up to play Magic and day one, just match one, you're like, crap, I have to play against a literal two-time Pro Tour champion winner, or
World champion, Worlds, isn't it?
a
Two-time world
world champion, also Hall of Famer, right? So this is
Every
quite
title. Every
frankly
title.
absurd. Oh, and FNM winner as well. You're right. You're right. Absolutely right. Yeah. Um. So what I'm thinking about right now is the actual matchup that we've got going on, which is Show and Tell at the hands of Seth Manfield versus Jund at the hand of the One Jam. Now, Jund is a deck that I initially thought, okay, like I come from the background of Legacy, and in Legacy, Jund isn't quite it because you don't have access to cards like Force of Will. However, in this format, Jund actually seems quite incredible, right? Repeated discard, and then also access to cards like Jarsoul, which is an arena exclusive card, actually
Garso's
gives a game.
really cool.
Yeah.
Garso's
And actually, Jund was able to take down our first open entry 1K, in fact, putting multiple copies into the top 8. So, don't sleep on Jund. I think this deck has some potential.
I'm looking. Steph is on the I'm gonna say the boogeyman this today. It is gonna be show and tell. So we do get to look at what this powerful deck is going to be doing in the hands of arguably the most powerful mage in Magic currently, Mr. Seth Manfield. So we're having a look at the hands. We're going to be doing a little bit of mulligan here. That's fine.
And giving you a little bit of a explanation of what's going on here. So the one game is we're actually in game number 2 right now. You can see that Seth has already won game number 1, and looks like in the matchup we've got the one James having mulligan down to 5, but keeping a pretty good one here with well, I was going to say it's a good one, but access to Inquisition and early Ragavan and the Orcish Bowmasters. That's like the unholy trinity of cards that you would probably want here. And looks like turn 1 Thoughtseize is actually going to just take the Orcish Bowmasters out and leave.
I think we're getting a little bit of lag going on it.
Yeah, pardon that. Thank you for everyone dealing with that. But yeah, I mean, looking at this, you got a couple options here with the Inquisition. I mean, Demonic Tutor. Okay, this is actually a really cool card. Assemble the Team. Have you seen this card?
I have seen it and like how crazy it was. Next to Collective Company, right? It was kind of how people were kind of looking at the card and how good it can.
You're thinking of the Breakout card. This one is actually like it's a pseudo demonic tutor, so it's black and green.
Oh,
and yeah, and it lets you go through like the top third of your deck and then pick a card out from there and put it into your hand. So it's not exactly demonic tutor. However, in the format as powerful as Timeless with all the extra redundancies, it functionally is kind of close to it. And this is also something you can only do on a digital format, which is honestly really cool. I like that we're leaning into leveraging the power of technology to create cool card design.
Yeah, I think it got a lot of stick at the start, but like I've really come around to it. I like the idea of these sort of formats going like moving forward. It is a digital card game at the end of the day, and here comes Jar, so we get to see the power of this. It also feels like it should be a planeswalker how powerful it is. But we get to play a 1 mana spell from our graveyard for free at the beginning of combat. Now it's got going up to 2. You can see the bottom left hand corner there. That now means next combat, if Jarsil's still on the battlefield, we can play a 2-drop from our graveyard and put that into play. Works really good with Orcish Bowmaster. Really pretty cool to see just these digital cards moving forward. But a big roadblock on the other side, this Fae of Wishes top Ragavan. We all know how powerful that card can be.
Yeah, the other day I was looking at a VOD of Aspiring Spikes where he was trying Ragavan and some other goblin, like I think it's a pirate that I don't know, some Rakdos pirate scam deck that he was cooking with, and he was saying that this 2-mana 2/2 is kind of like Ragavan, and I was like, in my mind, I was like, I think we're missing a couple elements here. But it is kind of funny that maybe like the strongest 1-mana red drop that we have ever seen in Magic the Gathering, and likely will ever see, because I mean, think about it. How can you print a card that is stronger than Ragavan? Is being blocked by just like a 1/4, you know what I mean? Just a 1/4 that currently does nothing.
I mean that Jackal Pup, not the most powerful red 1-drop ever printed.
I mean, Jackal Pup scaled out like literally the year after. F in chat for Jackal Pup, I guess.
Here's Show and Tell in hand with Omniscience for Seth Manfield. Looks like it's cards back off this brainstorm. Shuffle them away potentially. Does that we can't use consider yet. Only got the one swamp up.
All right. Bowmasters is going to resolve. Now that's going to be pretty good against the consider in the hand here, but I'm checking right now to see what our Fae of Wishes is going to be able to get us. Now Seth said that he basically registered a stock-ish show and tell list with a couple interesting deck choices. I'm going to say it right now. There is a one of Stifle in Seth's deck. Is that stock? I have no. It can't. No, that can't possibly be stock. Okay, cool. But in the sideboard, there are cards like Agent of Treachery, Approach of the Second Sun. There's Duress. Dig Through Time, Shared Summons, that's a cool one. A copy of Counterspell, more Stifles, Veil of Summer, and Grafdigger's Cage. So it looks like we're going to try to use Omniscience to play Approach of the Second Sun, and then also maybe cast a Dig Through Time the same turn to recast the Approach of the Second Sun and win all cleanly, compactly in one turn. Now, I was just looking at his deck list. I turn back and I come see an entire battlefield's worth of creatures on the other side. What just happened, Will?
So basically, James is just deploying everything and putting Giganta to hand. And just like that, decides to draw the Atraxa on the turn that he can cast the Show and Tell, on the turn that he can cast his Omniscience. This might just be game right now. Like, that's how good it is. Yeah, you can put Giganta into play. That's great. I'm going to cast my Atraxa for free. The big Phyrex in general, ETB. Look at the top 10. Put one of each card type into hand. How about another Atraxa? A Fatal Push. We've got Lion's Revealed to fit another 3 in our hand. And we can get a land. Why not? Not too bad. Play a 7/7 life linking, flying vigilance, draw a 4, and then you can cast everything. Revolt. I don't know if Revolt's been triggered, but it doesn't really matter. Fatal Push is going to take out that Orcish Bowmaster ready for this Lines Revealed. Get 3 more cards in hand for Steph. This is okay. I can't understand what everybody's talking about this. We're going to go consider, so filter through our deck a little more. We don't want another dark Shores. We do want that dig through time, though. That's going to be pretty sweet. That's getting snapped off straight away. Have a little look at the top 8 cards, put 2 of them into our hand.
Okay.
One of them is Assemble.
Will, I am getting a little bit stressed out right now. This is ridiculous, right? Like what we're watching happen right now. And you can see the one Jam is also just like, yeah, I agree. This is ridiculous. I'm not doing anything more about this. We're gonna come back to the booth here real quick, but now keeping in mind, right? The thesis, the main question, the headliner that we're looking for today is I don't care about the latter results. I want to know what our creators, our players think, what their audiences think, what you think today watching is show and tell too strong for this format? And that was not close. That game was just not close at all.
Well, it was looking okay until the Atraxa off the top, right? The Veil put one card in the graveyard. Oh, next card's the Atraxa. Blind drawing that off the top. Then everything just escalated, and it was basically game over on nail on the head. That's going to be our first 2 games. Remember, this is 5 rounds of timers before we cut our top 4 players, and then we'll be crowning ourselves a champion. And I know what's on everybody's mind. It's on my mind as well. The big important thing. It's Will's in a news broadcast, Will's in a news stream, their tournament. There's something that we always have in these tournaments. What is it, Anu?
Let's get some Wordle.
Let's go. Let's get some Wordle on the screen for you. So we're going to have a short break, step away. You're going to guess all the Wordle as it comes up, and then we'll be back with round number 2 shortly. So don't go anywhere.